Ken Trahan along with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank Weekend Review, brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana and the Florida Panhandle. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. The New Orleans Pelicans led for 3 quarters but couldn't hold that lead, falling at Houston 121-114. But Oklahoma City got beat at Indiana. So, with 2 games left, the Pelicans and the Thunder are still tied, but the Pelicans still own the tiebreak. So now the Pelicans have to take care of business against Minnesota Monday night and hope that Oklahoma City does not win against Portland. Lenny, it's a little bit of a convoluted situation. Disappointing ending for the Pelicans because they really seemed to have control of that game for 3 quarters, just couldn't defend well enough when it mattered most.
Right. I think the key stretch of that game was late in the third, early in the fourth quarter. The Pelicans had a 9-point lead late in the third, let Houston come back and tie the game at the end of the third quarter, and then Houston really put some distance in it early in the fourth, and the Pelicans could never recover. But, you know, the good news is, as you mentioned, Oklahoma City a loser in Indiana. The magic number is 2. It's that simple. Monday night, the Pelicans could clinch it. With a win and an Oklahoma City loss, it's over, but the Pelicans are in control of their destiny because of that tiebreaker. Just win these last 2 games no matter what Oklahoma City does, and you are in the playoffs headed to Oakland to play Golden State in the first round.
Man, I really think they're going to get in. I think they're going to win one of these games, if not both, and I do think Oklahoma City is going to have a tough time with Portland regardless of the circumstance, and we'll see how it shakes out. Of course, Oklahoma City dodged a real bullet when Russell Westbrook had his 1-game suspension rescinded by review on Monday by the league. He had gotten his 16th technical foul in the game against Indiana, and having watched it, it was a head-scratcher as to why he got it in the first place. So, although it certainly doesn't help the Pelicans, I applaud the decision by the league to rescind it.
You know, and the fact is, though, the other 15 technicals are still there. So if Westbrook gets rung up on Monday night, he's not playing on Wednesday. Now, granted, like the Pelicans are in Minnesota tonight, Oklahoma City's in Minnesota on Wednesday. You would think they stand a reasonable chance of winning at Minnesota with or without Westbrook, who, you know, Minnesota has the worst record in the league right now with 16 wins. Still in all, that's a big loss if he were to get a technical tonight. And obviously, somebody who's had 15 technicals already this year is, you know, a reasonable proposition to get rung up.
Well, to say the least, he's got a mercurial personality. Of course, when you look at other entities, the New Orleans VooDoo, a loser 47-42 to Orlando. And as I wrote, you can win 2 phases of the game, but when you get beat badly in the third phase, the kicking game, you're going to lose. Gave up 2 kick returns for touchdowns, missed 2 extra points, and that'll do it.
Those are the kind of things you can't have happen, right? It's why coaches will tell you special teams is a third of the game. It might have been more than a third of the game on Saturday night. Now the VooDoo has to go on the road to Tampa, first road game of the year.
All right, the other big story this weekend, the Grand Prix of Louisiana at NOLA Motorsports, and they had a window to get the race in thanks to the rain letting up slightly, and it finally ended, and you had a winner from abroad who really kind of surprised. A one-stop win, basically. 1 pit stop, gambled on yellows, and of course the rain, and he won on both ends, and as a result, you've got a champion that maybe would surprise some.
Yeah, James Hinchcliffe out of Toronto, Canada, the mayor of Hinchtown, as they know him. He, got to the top of the podium. Elio Castroneves second. It was really a strange race. You know, you thought that, you know, with the rain having stopped and out there trying to dry the track and those types of things, first 15 laps, it was all green. It seemed like everything was good. And then after that, basically the second half of the race was, you know, about a minute or 2 of green there, but pretty much all yellow after that. What you had happening is because of the time window, and these races are run in an hour, 45-minute time window, a maximum of 75 laps, that you were up against the clock, so you had guys taking a lot of chances. And as a result of those chances combined with the conditions, you ended up with a lot of situations that put out the yellow flag. And, you know, as it were, Hinchcliffe won the race under yellow. So it was a great atmosphere. You know, the first time we've ever had IndyCar racing in Louisiana, and, you know, kudos all around to the local host committee, particularly our friends at NOLA Motorsports Park, for the job that they did to bring this event.
Very positive comments from the drivers and the visitors, and that's a good thing. So hopefully with better weather, it will get even better next year whenever that event is held. Date to be determined. College baseball, LSU wins a rubber match against Auburn. Tulane salvages a game at Houston, and where LSU is concerned, they had to have that game. They're pitching kind of askew this past weekend because of the injury to Lang and the change they made with Godfrey DeBain.
Yeah, and they stepped up on Sunday, pieced it together, and got it done. Zach Pearson starting for only the second time in his career. And you've got to be able to do that. Everybody is not going to stay healthy. Now, long-term, what is Lang's situation? That is a huge factor in determining just how successful this LSU baseball season could be, because he's arguably been their best guy. Might be the one or two of the three best guys in the SEC this year.
No doubt about it. And, of course, in golf, Jordan Spieth, 21 years of age, second youngest Masters winner ever, ties a record for the best score at Augusta National, tying Tiger Woods' record, who, of course, holds the record for the youngest winner ever. Just an amazing performance, 2 weeks ahead of the Zurich Classic.
All right, let me be the first to say it here. Tiger, I'm sure you're watching us right now on SportsNOLA.com. You're 101st in the world, so you're not going to get to play the Match Play Championship the following week after the Zurich. And then you've got the Players Championship after that. You're looking to get a start in there. Come on to New Orleans for the first time. That would be, just the icing, the cherry on top. All of those cliches you want to throw out there for Steve Worthy and his group at the Zurich Classic. If they could pull that off, that would be just huge. Otherwise, he's not going to get a start before then. And maybe with his wrist situation, maybe he wants to rest. But wouldn't that be great if he decided to come play here?
All sounds great, but he said yesterday after the event was over with that he's not playing for a while now, so that means he's not coming. So stay tuned. I have a good field here, but it won't include Tiger or Jordan Spieth, it appears. So it should be great. But what a win for Spieth. And, of course, the Zurich, as mentioned, coming up in 2 weeks, and we'll have full coverage of that. And finally, our first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. We're just dodging the rain, trying to get games in, and unfortunately our doubleheader for Monday postponed due to rain. We're set to do a game between Riverside and Newman on Wednesday at 4, live at SportsNOLA.com, tape delayed on WHNO. All I can say is go to SportsNOLA.com to make sure things are going to transpire.
Yeah, 2 words, weather permitting. And unfortunately, the weather forecast not looking great for baseball at all this week. But, one thing, if they do get it in, one thing you may want to check out, speaking of baseball, the Iowa Cubs at Zephyr Field the next 4 days with the number one prospect in all of baseball, Chris Bryant, in town.
Yeah, Z's 1-3 against Omaha to get things started. Bryant's in town. Let's hope they can get those games in as well. Radio game on Tuesday night, weather permitting again, Jesuit and Rummel at Kirsch Rooney Stadium at 7. That's it, Lenny. So that's our weekend review. All good, huh?
All good. We'll see you. We'll see you later this week.
All right. That's our First NBC Bank Weekend review, brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and the Florida Panhandle. That is First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. He's Lenny. I'm Kenny. Have a great week, and God bless you.